What's up, y'all? This is John, Mike, and Caleb back for another episode of the Nothing Finer podcast. As always, you can find us on Millions and as part of the Fans First Sports Network. But tonight, you can find us live on YouTube. Check us out every Sunday at 8. But before you check us out on Sundays at 8, you should check our Instagram story. Make sure that we are going live Sunday at 8 because sometimes we don't. But obviously, we're going over the best games of Week 10 and some LOLs and some stuff that we found interesting. But before we get into all that, how are y'all doing? What are you drinking?
I am all right. One of my chickens got by something last night. Not sure what, not sure where it came from. It just dug a hole, got one of my chickens, and drug it to the corner of the yard, and then God knows where after that. So if you hear some squawking, until we can like reinforce our coop the way we want it to, they are inside in a crate for the night, in a dog
That's
crate.
funny.
Yeah. Hey, it works. We found like an old like pole that was part of a coat rack, and we just shoved it in the middle of it so that they could have something to roost on, and they're doing great. I am drinking kombucha. Just kidding. It's old sherbet punch we made from Halloween, but we shoved it in a kombucha bottle to save it.
Very good. No, I'm good. I mean, we, as always, helping my in-laws try to, sell their house and get rid of all their stuff. So just constantly doing stuff with that. They got paint, like an old paint can they were trying to dump out illegally somewhere, and they spilt paint all over the car, and I was trying to pick that off because I couldn't get it off the pressure washer. So that was fun. I did that for a while. Um,
Is that the same car that your father-in-law got real mad when me and Lincoln were throwing a football and the football bounced off of the hood?
um, I how long ago was
Expedition?
that? No,
Ex-
he has a new truck now. He totaled that.
oh, okay. Yeah, yeah,
So he can mess with it, but
Yeah,
yeah. A
he can run into somebody in a
football
parking lot.
bouncing off the hood was a big deal.
It, yeah, in I will say before we get into the game stuff, and I know you're gonna talk about what's going on with you as well. The ESPN app sucks.
It's bad. Yeah, it
It
is.
it, it is the worst. I like a lot of y'all probably, I know I have YouTube TV. I know John has YouTube TV and all that. Um, they made it damn near impossible to watch anything. The app sucks. I thought about momentarily getting the ultimate bundle thing for like what, $40, $30 a month or whatever, just so I can see all the games. But the ESPN app just sucks. Like I could only watch the Georgia game. That's the only thing I could watch.
yeah, and that's a shame because this was a legendary hate watch weekend for Georgia fans, the way
Yeah.
everything went down. And
Mhm.
the fact that you couldn't watch that, like, is
And
unbelievably sad.
and I would miss stuff too because the app would crash, or like if I, flipped it from horizontal to vertical or whatever, it would
Uh-huh.
just go away, try to flip it back on there, and it just wouldn't show anything. So I don't know. I'm irritated with ESPN. I might just start reading books instead of watching football. I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Look, the one thing I will say, and I probably shouldn't say this while we're live on YouTube, but YouTube's moderation team or whatever has been really bad at finding and taking down college football streams that people
They
are
Yeah,
putting
certainly
out
have.
there. So
yeah,
you've got options, I guess.
yeah. No, that's fair. I would just rather do the multi-view thing. That's
Yeah,
the whole
that's the
reason
fun
why I
part.
have it. But
And I will say, so Fubo did the ultimate big brain capitalist move. Saturday morning, right at 8:30. If you've ever had Fubo before, they sent out an email that said $70 off your first month back with us.
Ooh,
mm,
good
So
marketing.
I'm paying $30 to get Fubo for a month and hope that YouTube TV figures it out.
Yeah,
mm.
Like
they
I'm
don't make a
paying a
little money on
dollar a
that.
day.
Yeah, that's worth it for sure. But how
Um,
are you doing?
yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I do have some water today. Throat's a little dry. I realized I was dehydrated earlier. Trying to take care of myself a little bit, I guess. Some people say that you need to take care of yourself to continue going, and I don't know. But um,
Help me, I need
so
water. Nothing.
yesterday we go to Two Tides Brewing in Savannah. Good people, good beer. They always have fun events, right? And yesterday it was Fest because it's like National Skateboard Day yesterday or something. And we're hanging out with our friends Vaughn and Emily and their little girl, and a man in a rooster costume skateboards by,
No, that was
and
my chicken that ran away.
Yeah.
and I was just like, all right, man, I'm in. I can't skateboard, and I have a wrist brace on, but I'm in.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then they had guys out there like doing skateboard jumps over kegs, and it was pretty cool.
Nice.
Then we went to a bar and watched the Georgia game, and I will say the John from when this podcast started would have been drunk at this restaurant watching the game, and when the old men behind us just started saying the most idiotic things that I have heard someone say about this Georgia team. And that's including Auburn fans saying that Kirby Smart should be suspended for the rest of the season for the timeout clapping situation.
Dumber than all the fans who are saying that Gunnar Stockton should be investigated for taking a knee at the 1 yard line.
Correct. Yeah. So just a few of the things. When they missed tackles behind the line of scrimmage, these two like 50-year-old men start smacking the table, screaming, "Nobody on this team has heart. Nobody tries. I don't even know why I've watched this game. I hate these guys. This is the worst
Look,
Georgia team I've ever seen." It's like,
there are a lot of things you could say about this Georgia team. Saying they don't have heart
or that they
is
don't
definitely
try.
not one of them.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was just stuff like that all day long. And I was sitting there, and I was, there were a couple things that were just like 100% factually incorrect. Like they were like, "We had 2 weeks to game plan for these boys. How do we not know what they're about to do?" And I
It
turned to
might be the new
Kelsey.
play caller, guys.
Well, not only did Florida have a new play caller, they fired their offense coordinator and their defensive coordinator, and they put guys in to call plays that have never called plays at the college level. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you don't know what to call for because there's literally no tape. There's none.
Nothing.
So the fact that DJ Lagway is accurately throwing passes 20 yards downfield hasn't happened in his college career.
Mm-hmm.
And these plays
And it didn't happen the
specifically,
whole game either. It was a pretty short time in this game, but still.
yeah, but it's like it's like, oh, why, and they were like, "Why are we still trying to run the ball? We obviously can't do it." And then Gunner throws that pass that gets tipped and intercepted. Like, that's
Not
all
entirely
100% on
his
the
fault.
quarterback. Like, why are we even trying to throw the ball? And it's like, yo, Noah Thomas just didn't catch it. Like, that's not on Gunner.
Yeah.
If it hits your hands, you are responsible for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how football works. And
It's same guys calling for Justin Fields in 2018, I'm sure.
yeah. No, it was 2022. John would have stood up and told these guys that they're idiots and have no clue what they're talking about.
Yeah.
2025, John, I had a total of 3 beers watching this game.
Oh, snap.
And just turned to the table every time they said something stupid and told the table why they were wrong at a low level, so they didn't hear me and I didn't start anything.
But you still got to be right.
Yeah. No, I there was one point where they just went back to back to back to back, and I was like, these might be the dumbest people in this bar in Thunderbolt, Georgia, and that's saying something.
Yeah, considering some of the lulls we're going to be talking about and something you said about one of these, I'm going to say that's definitely saying something.
Yeah, that's including the Miami fan that stormed in to the bar after they lost, from the outside part, and just stood at the computer until the waitress let her pay her tab. And she cussed out every Georgia fan along the way. And it's like, look, I can't
Look,
help that you're dumb. I can't help that your coach is dumb. Like
yeah.
it is what it is.
Y'all the ones who paid $4 million for something we could have told y'all wasn't worth it. Something
Something
we did
that,
tell y'all wasn't worth
Yeah.
right, something that Miami fans were like, so glad we don't have Georgia's problems until our problems became available on the open market for $4 million.
it. Yep. Look at that.
But y'all ready to get into some of the actual games?
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
let's do it. This is a fun week.
Yes. And we do have a whole LOL section here. And Caleb, I will let you get started with this one because we kind of just talked about it.
Yeah, I couldn't help but notice, and we'll talk about it later. When Georgia played Florida, Gunnar Stockton, I thought, did a pretty good job layering the football over defenders. So
I
I
would say that's
just,
a factual statement. Yeah.
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 yeah, so I just have to wonder, after watching Carson Beck completely and predictably throw the game away right into the arms of an opposing defender, yet again on a ball that could have been layered better over the defender but was not. Aaron Murray, when are you putting Gunnar Stockton over Carson Beck in your quarterback rankings? I'm calling you out again. I don't care. Like,
Well,
it's ridiculous at this point.
Aaron and Carson are both from the state of Florida. So
That's true. So
Yeah.
neither of them actually understand anything. Except Latinas. They understand those pretty well.
So, fun fact, actual hurricane season has lasted longer this year into the football season than the Miami Hurricanes playoff hopes.
Oh, damn.
Because actual hurricane season doesn't technically end until November 30th.
Yeah.
Miami made it to November 1st.
Speaking
I
of
will
which,
say, the Carson Beck hype train did last slightly longer at Miami because they didn't play anybody. Like by Texas last year, people were like, "Okay, this guy's not it."
yeah.
So, Mike, you were about to say something. Were you about to talk about Carson Beck throwing someone else under the bus?
No, I'm actually was gonna not right now, but I was gonna ask what did he say after the game because I have no idea.
Oh,
Did
what he said was when he was asked what he was I don't remember what the question was, what he was seeing. Basically, like straight up, like here is your opportunity to take some accountability. What happened there? And he's like, "Man, I just execute the play that's called." So just blaming the coaching because apparently his offensive coordinator told him to throw it right into the arms of the SMU defender.
Right. And what's funny is I read that quote to Kelsey last night, and she was like, I don't think throw it to the other team is a play on anyone's playbook.
Right.
Well, if it is, Carson is your guy, right?
Yeah.
If you need a pick, if you need
The
an
on-
arm
the
punt, that's your guy.
I think it may have been in Billy Napier's playbook against LSU earlier this year. I'm not sure, but other than that, yeah.
That man, it's just it's so funny because it went from up until what the Louisville game. That was three weeks ago, I would say 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, because they
CBS.
lost 2 consecutive games, right? They lost that game, they had a bye, and then they lost this one, right?
Yes. All right. So a few weeks ago, up until that Friday night game against Louisville, CBS and Josh Pate and all these other guys are talking still up until the point that Carson Beck literally threw the game away again. We're saying that it was Georgia's fault.
Yep.
And then the same weekend that Carson throws the game away and proves every Georgia fan right, we have Gunnar Stockton throw as many touchdowns as, or be responsible for as many touchdowns as Carson had interceptions.
Yeah.
Dang.
And then today, or yesterday, there was one interception that Gunnar threw, obviously, that I
The
would
tipped
say
pass.
is definitively not his fault.
Yeah.
And Carson threw 2 that were definitively his fault. And ironically, Georgia had a touchdown on an almost identical play to what Carson threw the final interception of the game on.
At almost the exact same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like in real time, I went and I saw the touchdown to Dylan Bell, and I was like, okay, let me go check on the Miami game, and he had just thrown the interception.
Right.
Like immediate.
And then one last thing about this game. Under Mario Cristobal, Miami is 4-11 on games after Halloween.
That's insane. That is an insane statistic that I love so
Yeah.
much.
It's
4-11. That's when they start leaving the state of Florida to go play road ACC games. And
Yeah,
oddly enough,
it's
that's when they start losing.
November, and that was
Right.
their first game outside of Florida.
Right.
This is Texas level treatment.
Yeah. 4-11.
Wow.
That's
so.
insane.
How petty am I allowed to be on Instagram? Should I go back and all these guys that went on our blind player comparison and ask, is Beck still better?
Do it.
Yeah, do it. By all means, please do, because I've been getting everybody. Another guy I have been getting. I don't know if y'all have seen that guy who posts almost every day. He's wearing a Georgia Tech hat and goes, "Oh, just another day as being the only undefeated team in Georgia." I've been on his page the last 24 hours. Some funny stuff happened in Raleigh, North Carolina last night.
My God.
And I want to get out in front of this. I'm not going to necessarily laugh at Haynes King because Haynes King is a dog who I
So good in
respect
that one.
immensely. He didn't lose them that game. You can't give up 8 billion points and expect to win a football game.
I mean, he had 500 all-purpose yards in 4 touchdowns. It's not his fault.
Yeah,
For sure.
no, very much not. He was carrying the team that whole game. So I do feel kind of bad for him, but I don't feel bad for the program. I don't feel bad for the head coach. I don't feel bad for any of the fans. None of it. Y'all gave away clean hold fashion hate to Invesco QQQ. You get none of my sympathy.
Yeah, but to your point about Haynes King, I don't know if y'all saw this or not, but I hope it's true. Not that I hope it's true, but I think it's true that
It increases the cool factor. It's
yeah.
true.
We're gonna just roll with it. It came out recently that Haynes King was apparently pissing blood for a few days before the Georgia game last year. You're not supposed to do that.
No, I don't think that's how it's supposed to happen.
I guess I need to go see a doctor.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait 6 months before you get an answer.
Yeah,
it's fair. So Haynes King, we have raved about Haynes King for the better part of 2 years now. And one thing that I've come to the realization of is that Haynes King and Cam Scadaboo, hear me out, I'm getting somewhere with this, and Gunnar Stockton are all the same breed of person. And
yeah,
what I
no
mean
notes.
by that,
That's exactly correct. Yes.
They would rather get actually murdered on the football field than lose.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. Like, I don't care
Yeah.
if Haynes King, I don't care that he plays for Georgia Tech. He could play for the University of Florida. He could have transferred from Georgia Tech to Florida to Auburn to Alabama. And I would still appreciate who he is as a player because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
And speaking of Auburn,
boy, that was fun. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Okay, I'm not going to sing. This isn't a musical.
Wait, hold up. Hugh Freeze finally lived up to his name. Because the offense could not move.
Yeah.
Couldn't score points either.
But the defense only gave up 10.
Yeah, the defense did everything they had to do to win that game.
And Kentucky won an SEC road game.
An SEC road game at night in allegedly the toughest night environment, well, one of the toughest night environments in college football.
And so I did a little bit of research on this over the offseason. And more upsets have happened at Jordan-Hare at night in the month of November in the last decade than any other stadium in the SEC. And
That's
another
wild.
one happened this week.
Yep. Yeah, so the notes in here are a little outdated because Hugh Freeze was actually fired today. Finally.
Yep.
Should have done it weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
but it took the Auburn, the suits at Auburn, what, like 3 weeks for them to go from, oh well, he's actually like 5-1 if you ignore all the referee shenanigans, to it being like, yeah, this guy's probably actually not doing it for us.
So I want to know, are they still paying off Gus, and that's why they couldn't afford Hugh Freeze's like $13 million buyout?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, Gus got fired in 2020, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he had the highest buyout of all time before
When Jimbo and
Yeah.
Jimbo was fired. And
yeah,
so, and the way that
Uh,
Auburn does contracts, they're paying Hugh Freeze $406,105 per month until January 31st, 2029. I would never get another job if I was him.
yeah.
no,
I will say currently, over the last, since 2020, the University of Auburn has now at least owed a total of $52.5 million to their failed coaches.
Should we, man, I wish it was like deferred contracts in baseball and we could have an Auburn pays the head coaches day instead of like a Bobby Bonilla day. Just
yeah,
or Bonilla, however you pronounce it. Um
yeah, yeah, Benio, yeah, yeah.
yeah, okay. So I wish we could just have a Auburn head coach day and everybody celebrate how many head coaches they fired just because they can't seem to do anything right.
Hmm.
So according to Copilot, as of 2025, Auburn is still making payments to Gus Malzahn, along with other former coaches like Brian Harsin and now Hugh Freeze. So
That's very funny.
They're
I
gonna
hope they
have
keep doing this forever.
they're going to they're going to be paying their old head coaches more per month than their next head coach gets every month
Hmm.
because no one wants to coach there anymore.
No,
It it went
it's a
from
dumpster fire.
when they fired Brian Harsin, they almost got Lane Kiffin. Legitimately almost got Lane Kiffin. His daughter had to talk him out of taking that job. And now they just fired Hugh Freeze. And no one wants that job. Like, allegedly, Glenn Schumann has already turned down an interview for that job.
Yikes.
and,
Yeah,
and I mean, and look at all the jobs that are open right now. Like Auburn might be like the 10th best job available now, maybe.
you could argue that it is slightly ahead of Arkansas just because of the history of the football program.
Yeah.
Arkansas will give you time though. Auburn clearly
Exactly.
not. So I don't know.
I'm trying to think of who the best name that they could get right now is,
Yeah,
and
Cadillac Williams.
it's yeah, Cadillac might be. It's got to be
If they
just
would have
some,
just hired Cadillac at that point, they would have probably won more games.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah, for sure. Would have cared more. That's for
Yeah.
sure. Not
Yeah.
hosting his golf rounds.
There are four head coaching vacancies in the SEC, and it's the first week in November.
What a time to be alive, man. But you know,
And that
they
might not be
kept
it.
saying they kept saying
Should
with
be.
the 12-team playoff, and with Oklahoma and Texas coming into the SEC, and with no more divisions, like there was going to be a higher standard at each of these schools. They all want to win championships at this point. So, if you're getting hired onto one of these SEC schools, if you're not at least in the hunt within a couple of years, you're not going to last there. And I'm
Mm.
wondering, other than the like cream of the crop top jobs in the SEC, how many of these are going to have this kind of high turnaround of every 2 or 3 years? We're just going to have to go get somebody else.
It's going to
Well,
be more.
nobody got fired going into this year, right?
No,
Yeah, so
no.
I mean it was two. But
Yeah.
yeah.
It, is the SEC going to be like putting a comforter in the dryer? Like just clunk, clunk, clunk. It, it sucks. I mean, we had coaching rivalries that went 5 or 6 years, and like the days of Mark Stoops, them being okay with like an 8-win average, those are done. Like Mark Stoops is probably getting fired this year,
I'm
Hmm.
and
honestly surprised he hasn't already.
Right.
well, his
And
buyout his buyout's pretty insane.
Well,
basketball season is starting like this week, so they don't care now.
All right, last one before we get into the SEC games. Who wants to take this one?
Are we
I'll
talking? Yeah,
what?
go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna shout out Rich Rodriguez. West Virginia got their first uh, conference win in his second tenure at the school. They did beat Houston, and like I
Is
have no
that beeping in the background? One of you washing a
that
comforter?
that is me. I swear to God, it's me. That was me. um, didn't know you could hear that. That's funny. Um, but yeah, it was Rich Rod's first conference win at West Virginia since 2007. Granted.
Another wild stat.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
just go. Are you talking about this game? Because I have Mark Stoops buyout figures.
going ahead. Yeah.
$37.7 million if he is fired before January 1st.
Oh, that's wild. That's more than Hugh Freeze.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they save money not firing Cal, so you'd think that I don't know they'd be more willing to do it. Maybe
Yeah.
not.
Maybe I don't know. They're trying to save their whole NIL budget for basketball at this point, so they got to hold on to some money.
Yeah.
Also, apparently, I didn't know this was a thing. Somebody's got it here and nobody's talking about it, so I'm gonna just do it. North Texas.
Oh yes,
When
I forgot I put this in here. Um, so it was honestly this was one of the most exciting parts of the day for me. Legitimately, y'all know I'm a nerd. Y'all know I love like skirting around the rules and loopholes, and so North Texas, Navy's coming back. Navy kicks an onside kick, and North Texas calls a fair catch on an onside kick. Well, Navy's still going for the football because
yeah,
you can't call fair
yeah,
catch on an onside kick, right?
right?
Wrong. You can.
Apparently you can.
North
And
Texas got a
nobody.
15-yard kick catch interference penalty, and it guaranteed they won the game. Like,
They did. Surely that's gonna get looked at at some
Yeah.
point. They're
I
gonna
feel
change
like
that rule.
yeah, that's one of those almost immediately this offseason that rule will change.
Yeah. But
Hmm.
but but bravo for spotting that and finding that. And I will say I'm not this guy, so I'm not gonna do it, but I really wanted to enter the bandwagon team transfer portal and jump on North Texas. I do have actual connections with North Texas. I spent like a week there doing sound on a tour when I was in college, and it was by far the best place we went to. Um,
Where's their
so
campus?
Denton, Texas.
Huh. Okay.
And yeah, it's actually it's a really nice campus. We had a really good time there. So shout out Denton, Texas.
Wait, is transfer portal bandwagon team, is that a thing? Because I
I
would
guess that's
also
up to us.
I would also jump in. Mike,
Yeah,
are you about to jump in the portal?
I'm all about firing Clay Helton. I'm tired of this too. Golly, man. They have the worst defense in all of college football. I haven't
yeah,
watched a second of Georgia Southern this year.
yeah. We've had a
I
rough go with our
Yeah.
bandwagon
This is a
team.
kiss of death.
Michael Trigg is the only player on Baylor's team worth paying attention to
Yeah,
because he is the quiet Baylor version of a Brock Bowers. Like
Okay.
no one knows, but he's good for 1 to 2 touchdowns a game. And thankfully he is on my fantasy team.
There
hmm
you go.
All right, let's get into the actual games that we're here to talk about. We got Vandy at Texas first. Texas covered the 2.5 point spread. Over under 45.5. Over hit. Texas waited until November to look like an actual football team.
hmm
Um, but I will say, I think there's a massive caveat in that because their home and away splits on offense are drastic.
hmm
Um, and they haven't played very many good teams at home. Like Vandy is far and away the best team that they have played at home.
It's not
And
like the offense was doing crazy. I mean, their score did get kind of high, but
and they had a lot of passing yards. But like
yeah,
here's a list of teams that they've played at home this year. San Jose State, UTEP, Sam Houston, Vanderbilt. That's their home schedule this year. So like take this with a grain of salt, but it is still pretty significant. At home, Texas scoring offense, 33rd in the country, 38.5 points per game. Away from DKR, 75th with 22.4 points per game.
And that includes a 45-point overtime game against Mississippi State.
It does. It also includes a 16-point overtime win against Kentucky.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Uh,
It's hard to score points against Kentucky now, apparently.
Apparently so, unless you're
Gunnar
Georgia
Stockton
and
sure didn't have a
Sanford
problem.
Right.
Rushing offense in Austin, 54th. Away from offense, or Austin, 111th.
Now, if teams haven't been running the ball against us, have they found a ton of success?
No. Not
Didn't
really.
think so. All right.
Yeah. And the passing offense, at home, 33rd, respectable. Away from home, 69th.
That's nice.
Yeah, very nice.
It is for us, for sure. I'm happy about it. But the Texas defense giving up enough points late in this game, specifically to make it close, should be concerning for that team. Because 21 points in the fourth quarter is a lot. Like, that's not we're playing prevent defense. That is, Vanderbilt, it took them 3 quarters to figure something out, but they figured it out.
Yeah, like the Georgia defense most weeks.
Yeah. And so, as far as the defensive front goes, it was supposed to be elite for Texas, and they struggled. Everybody struggled on that front except for Anthony Hill Jr. and Colin Simmons. And we're going to get to it. And, I feel like a lot of what we're doing with this game specifically is tied into the Georgia game because that is in 2 weeks. But the Georgia offensive line looked nasty on Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And if they only have 2 guys that make you worry, I feel so much better about that battle.
Yeah. Because Juan Gaston's just going to make those guys run into each other.
Yeah.
We need to get that clip and post it on our Instagram because I feel like not enough people paid attention to that specific aspect of the play.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, back to this game. I will say it gives me absolutely no pleasure to say I told you so in this one. When it came to picking Texas, I would feel better about that pick if this had happened because Arch Manning finally played like the person everybody says he was at the beginning of the season and just needed to find his confidence or something. He didn't really play any different than he has all year. His receivers just made plays.
Yeah,
and that was all it took.
Is good at football.
Who would have thought? A 75-yard pass looks really good for the quarterback, even if he only threw it 2 yards in front of the line of scrimmage. But yeah, I will say I do hope this doesn't suddenly lead to a bunch of Arch Manning Heisman hype, or maybe I do want it to lead to a bunch of Arch Manning Heisman hype because we have Texas in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
He's already not handled that very well. I would really though like them again, guys. Georgia Homer podcast. What do you expect? We're going to talk about the Georgia game. I'd really like them to be as undisciplined against Georgia as they were for a lot of this game against Vandy, because trying to fight a team almost every play when you're already up 3 scores against them is massive little brother energy, and it doesn't get much more little brother than Texas for Georgia.
Yeah.
And it would, I will say that Arch Manning standing over and staring down a player, if that happens in an SEC game, that's 15 yards every single time.
Yeah.
Like, against Sam Houston State at home in a warm-up game is one thing. But if that happens in an SEC game, well, it should be 15 yards.
Imagine if...
Who knows?
Also, imagine... Say George Pickens was a linebacker and he was the one Arch Manning stood over.
That's on site immediately and already happening.
Yep.
All right. So the Mississippi State Arkansas game.
Mississippi State won an SEC game. Woo!
Another maroon
Somebody
meltdown. It just. Can we pick some different colors, y'all? I know I complain about this a lot, but it's way too similar.
There's not a whole lot of green in the SEC. Somebody change your colors to green. Like a good-looking green, because I know there's not many good-looking greens in college football, but find something.
Whichever state recreationally legalizes marijuana first.
We go.
Change it to green.
Mm-hmm. The Mississippi State potheads. Anyway.
Unless it's Georgia, then no.
Let's not do that.
Yeah. But Mississippi State did win this one, plus 4.5. Over of 67.5 hit because, of course, it did in this game. And I will say, looking into the things that I am interested about for next week. Once again, this is Georgia Podcast. We're going to try and tie things back to Georgia with this. Mississippi State did something this week that they've not been able to do, not just all year, but for years. And that was come back in the fourth quarter and win a game. And look, I understand it's Arkansas. But they didn't do it necessarily by running the ball down Arkansas's throat because Arkansas struggled to stop the run. They did it with actually protecting Blake Shapen for the most part. They did it with actually getting guys in open space, hitting Anthony Evans, which, if you've listened to the podcast for a while, I'm big Anthony Evans fan.
Mm-hmm. I am too. He was on my fantasy team this week, and he is staying there.
He's in top 10.
You gonna have to start against Georgia?
Yeah. Look, those DBs, heck yeah.
But yeah, like Mississippi State did things that they have not been able to do, and Arkansas did as well. Arkansas didn't lose the game by turning the ball over. I have not heard an update on the Taylor Green status, but once again, if you've listened to us for a while, you know that we're all big Taylor Green fans. And it sucks that in one of the final plays of the game he got hit hard. It was, if you didn't watch this game, 4th and 13 and almost at the goal line. It was a clean play, like he was getting wrapped up and taken to the ground, but his head hit the ground hard. And he was on the, like, I'm shocked they didn't cart him off the field at that point. It's the end of the fourth quarter. The game's over. You just got intentional grounding at the 1 yard line. Like, come on. I understand that you don't want to leave your guys, but you also need to be able to play the rest of the season and able to walk tomorrow. So Taylor Green's another one of those Haynes King, Gunnar Stockton, Cam Scatterbo type people. Like, he would rather die than lose. But he's done a lot of losing, and we don't want him to do any dying.
Yeah.
I wish he would take care of himself a little bit more. But boy, I wish Mississippi State would have lost. Made me feel a lot better about going to start Vegas next week, because Georgia outside of Athens has not been particularly clean.
I mean, they're not getting false starts.
Fair.
They haven't lost outside of Athens.
No,
against better teams than Mississippi State. But yeah, I know. I look, the game between Georgia and Mississippi State is going to be a 1-score game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like every game in the SEC this season.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Yeah. Speaking of 1-score games, y'all want to get on to this next one? Because
I do.
This could have been the LOL section.
Legendary hate watch weekend for Georgia. Legendary.
Because this is Oklahoma at Tennessee in what I call, does either team have a defense when the other team has an offensive heartbeat? The answer, resoundingly no. Because Oklahoma had half of a defense and half of an offense, and Tennessee had a whole offense and half of a defense, and it wasn't enough. Because
the defense for Oklahoma did become the offense at one point.
It did. For sure. Oklahoma did cover 3.5. They were underdogs. Over a 56.5 hit. We need to come up with a Joey Aguilar interception name, like when we called Bo Nix Mo Picks. We got to do something.
Yeah.
Because, boy, this if you're on Instagram, there's a guy, he's a comedian, Ginger Billy. He's a Tennessee fan. And he said, I learned this weekend that Tennessee's favorite thing to do is drive all the way down the field, turn the ball over in the red zone, and then your defense not be able to stop them.
It's almost like Joey Aguilar led the nation in interceptions last season.
Which, wild, because we did talk about that quite a bit before the season.
Yeah.
And then he won games anyway this season.
And he's still, like, To be fair, some of those were not necessarily his fault.
Mm-hmm.
When you have 3 to 5 turnovers in a game, one or two of those is bound to not be your fault, but y'all are just in such a bad spot that it happens anyways because
Yeah.
luck is a real thing. But his offensive line let him down, and he gets absolutely destroyed. Strip sack, where R. Mason Thomas stiff arms Max Kitzelman for 15, 20 yards.
Which, how many suicides is Max doing in practice this week after that one? He looked like... That's how you make somebody want to quit football, to be honest with you.
Well, there's a reason he's a tight end and not a defensive end because
Yeah.
that was wild. And then R. Mason Thomas pulled a hamstring on that play in the first quarter. Never left the field except for at halftime. Came out of halftime with his uniform still on, and at one point he was like laying on the bench with ice on his hamstring, still like yelling at his boys being a leader. And
That's what I'm talking about.
I love
Yeah.
it. Not, and I'm not trying to throw this next person under the bus, but not Lamar Jackson type hamstring injury where he's like has 2 ice cubes taped to the back of his leg. I just, like I love seeing a guy that's actually a leader out there, and especially with Oklahoma having the defense they've had over the last couple of years with losing a number of guys last year that were leaders and fifth-year guys on that team. It's super cool to see because the defense gave the offense 7 points in the ball a few other times, and the offense still couldn't score enough points to win this game comfortably. And like John Mateer, is he all of the offense for Oklahoma?
Yeah.
They did. All right, so they did have a running back go for 115 yards, but their quarterback had 80. I just, he is a guy that the team goes through, and if he's not going, nobody does. The good news is Tennessee's defense sucks. So Oklahoma's back in the playoff hunt for now, but are they going to be good next week? We don't know because of how bad the Tennessee defense is.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have Bama next week?
Is that game next week? I got the ESPN app pulled up.
It's November 15th. I think they're off this week.
Oh, okay.
And then they get Bama.
Yeah, Oklahoma's off this week. Boy, I just realized Auburn fired Hugh Freeze so he didn't go 0-4 in his career against Diego Pavia.
Oh my gosh.
Because that's next week.
That is next. Okay. Yep.
And
that explains
Diego
that.
Pavia revenge game after losing, brother. Take the over in that one.
Take
But why wouldn't they let him go and lose it? They clearly hate him. They should have fired him weeks ago. They just want to make him suffer longer. Why not have him have 0-4 against Diego Pavia on his resume?
Well, so they did tell him, I'm sure, behind the scenes, because why would you be committed to Jackson Arnold for this much of the season and then just for some reason go, all right, Ashton Daniels, you're the guy. Other than the boosters telling you, hey, my guy, if you would like to be employed, you are playing the other quarterback too. And then turns out just no one can score points in the Hugh Freeze system anymore. It's not possible. Just wild that in less than a decade ago, Hugh Freeze was one of the best offensive play callers in the country, and now he can't score a touchdown at home at night against Kentucky.
Love to see it. Love to see it.
Yeah.
Couldn't have happened to a better guy.
Yeah, there you go. Who's more likable, him or Brian Kelly? I don't know, man.
Both have very questionable morals. It's hard to say.
Wait, they have morals?
Fair. Touche.
Hugh Freeze was not responsible for a player's death. We can say that.
That we know of.
Might be responsible for a few we'll say doctor's visits, penicillin shots for some of his players.
But, Hugh Freeze wasn't responsible for a player's death. But you know who is? The Auburn interim coach, DJ Durkin. And
Oh, snap.
The Auburn family has no morals. They don't.
Family.
Man, Auburn fans that were trying to talk about how Kirby should have been suspended and he should have been fined and this, that, and the other. Y'all just fired a guy that used university money and property to hire prostitutes at one of his last schools.
Mm-hmm.
To have an interim coach that's responsible for multiple players' deaths after y'all fabricated an affair for the coach that you fired to hire the one that hired prostitutes. And also, when someone at Liberty University came out about some athletes' sexual assault stuff, you DM'd her and said to keep her mouth shut. Hugh Freeze did do all of these things.
Yeah.
People forget about that. I know I did until you brought it up, and now it came rushing back to me. My God.
But guys, Kirby Smart told a referee he was clapping.
Yeah. Auburn, maybe have some self-awareness. Please have some self-awareness that you're awful.
That's getting clipped, guys.
or don't, because this is way more fun.
That's true.
No, I here's the thing. We talked about this with Georgia Tech for years. I would love for Auburn to be good enough to make these rivalry games. This year, it sucked in the moment, but it was fun. There was conversation before the game, during the game, after the game for weeks about what happened, what went wrong. Auburn fans, of course, made it anyone's fault but theirs. But that's beside the point. This was a fun version of a rivalry game. It's the Deep South Soul rivalry. I want it to continue to be one. But they have to quit sucking.
Mm-hmm.
And they need some self-awareness to do that because, y'all, I would be shocked if you can poach a group of 5 head coach at this point. Yellowwood money will run out at some point. And
for the record, I'm not in that camp. Auburn can go 0-12 every year, and I'm completely fine with it.
I want to have a regular cardiologist by the time I'm 30. That's what I'm saying.
Fair enough.
Man, it drives me nuts. It does. Why? How can y'all go from in 2013 playing for a national championship, in 2017 being an SEC championship game away from making the playoff, to 2025 potentially missing out on a bowl game again and firing your coach again? You're paying 3 coaches to not coach anymore. At some point, the common denominator is the university, is the people behind the scenes in the athletic department, is the boosters, is the fans. Not every coach sucks. Maybe it's y'all. Hot take, maybe you guys suck, and that's why your coaches do.
How the heck did we get here?
I don't know.
From Oklahoma, Tennessee.
No idea.
All right.
Well, we're talking about other people that suck.
Somebody has this game backwards here in the notes, and I'm just going to correct it real quick.
Yeah, that's on me. We do have the Georgia Florida.
Add another L to the name.
Yeah.
There are 5 now. Florida did cover 7.5. Thanks, Gunner. And the under of 50.5 hit. And obviously we're going to talk about this game quite a bit. We're going to go way into depth on it. But there's one thing that I want to say before anything else gets said about this game. And it's after KJ Bolden goes down, Zion Branch comes in and plays in his spot. And would that game have potentially gone differently with Georgia's passing defense had KJ Bolden still been in the game? I'm sure. But Zion Branch played 3/4 of the game and was 3rd on the team in tackles. As a backup who, before the season started, a lot of people that were allegedly in the know claimed that Zion Branch only got a scholarship because Georgia wanted Zachariah on the team. To go to be
Turns
3rd,
out Zion can play football.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3rd on the team in tackles in a rivalry game where every single one of those tackles was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Give this man some flowers because I truly think that in most other Georgia outlets, he's probably going to go under the radar because a
Yeah.
lot of people are going to be upset that KJ was out and defense gave up a ton of yards and points. And Zion stepped up when he needed to, and there were a few times like he got called on a couple of pass interferences. At least one of those would have been a touchdown if he didn't do it. Give him 15 yards every
Yeah.
time. If it's 7
Yeah.
points for 15 yards, give him 15 yards. I don't care.
Pretty sure they didn't score a touchdown on that drive, so hey,
Yeah,
good call.
absolutely. Now, Mike, you have a wild conspiracy theory here.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I know you were talking about going to the bar before. We had a wild night. Somebody threw up outside of the bar that we went to at 7:45. They got too lit. But this isn't the bar that I'm talking about here. So sitting downtown watching the game. At the end of it, walk into I think the Grove. I think is where we end up for this part of the game. And we're sitting there. Looks like Gunner's about to score. He takes a knee. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to explain why Gunner kneeled to the people that are sitting near us. They're all like, he did so they can run the clock out. No. Casuals.
Of course not.
No, why would he do that? He did it so people will associate kneeling with him instead of Tebow. Gunner hates Florida. His dad died bitching about Todd Grantham. Or not his dad, his grandfather. He wants to take away everything that Florida loves and make it his own. It's his personal.
So now Florida fans will associate kneeling with having their one chance to win the game possibly ripped away.
Yeah, it's Stocktoning now. Stocktoning.
He did take the Superman away from Cam Newton too. He wants to do this to everybody.
We got to find other things that he's going to take away from. I guess Tech and Texas. I don't know. We'll see.
He's going to throw trash on the Texas sideline.
No, I was going to say he's going to overrule Kirby and go for 2 at some point in the Texas game and do this. To call going for 2.
Yeah.
And he's just going to run it down their throat themselves. And they're going to cover because he scores that 2-point conversion.
He's going to buy a Model T and drive it really fast.
And he's going to paint it orange and put a U on the front, so he's the real UT. Y'all quit arguing about it. It's Gunner.
Yeah.
All right. I've seen a lot of people complain and get upset at Georgia about this game, whining it, kind of like the stupid people that you were talking about being around. I'm not the type to get upset about a win over an arch rival personally, so I don't know if anybody's listening wants me to be super down on the way this team performed. I'm not going to say they played perfect. I'm not going to say there's not a bunch of stuff I wish they would have done better. But if you're upset that Georgia didn't cover the spread, if you were dumb enough to bet on Georgia to cover, that's on you. Because that's who this team is now. That's what their identity is now. They're not interested in winning by 30 and putting backups in the fourth quarter in these kinds of games. I wish they were.
Yeah.
But that's not the world we're living in right now. The identity of this team is we're going to let you turn this game into whatever style of game you think is most advantageous for you. And then we're going to beat you at it anyway.
We ain't taking bets. We're taking souls.
Exactly. And, is that approach going to work when we get to the playoff? I have my doubts, but it sure as heck looks like it's going to win us enough games to get us there. So trust the process, I guess.
I was trying to find see if the spread for Georgia Texas was out yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got to read off some statistical leaders for Georgia right now.
Okay.
Gunner Stockton, 1,776 passing yards. C.J. Allen, 69 tackles.
Nice.
Stop the count. The season's over. I don't care anymore. Let's 1776 and 69. I'm in. Whatever.
Yeah, that's
I am
it.
sold.
God bless America.
He sure did.
All right, we want to get into some awards, or does anyone else have some final thoughts on this one?
We got to talk about the catch.
Of course we do.
Yeah,
How did I forget? None of us put that in the notes.
Yeah, so, all right. This is another one of those things where do I believe that the ball hit the ground before he gained possession. I do. And I think the view from, if you're looking at the field as a clock, it's like the 7 o'clock camera position onto the catch. It looks like it hit the ground. To me, honestly, it seems pretty clear that it hit the ground. Now, if I was a normal fan, and I do my best, and you can ask anybody I've watched football games with, I've truly tried to be objective when it comes to penalties, reviews, anything like that, because I'm not trying to get mad at the referees. I don't think that any game should be decided by the referees. But I I thought it hit the ground. But in my opinion, that was getting upheld regardless of the call.
Mm-hmm.
If it was called a completion, it would have stayed a completion. It was called
Much like the Jackson Arnold fumble.
Yep. And speaking of, I think that DJ Lagway fumbled that ball.
Mm-hmm.
But it was called down, it stayed down. It's one of those things where when you shouldn't want referees to decide games based on 10,000 frame per second footage that's grainier than every single picture you've ever seen of a UFO. Like, come on, let's play ball. The ref said it was incomplete. After 5 minutes of looking at it, they don't know it's incomplete. Like, I get it.
I saw someone seriously advocate and say, "Oh, what it should be is that if the referees in the replay booth are 51% sure, it should."
No.
That's
not how it works.
If you can't tell after looking at it for like, I don't know, a minute is even super long. If you can't tell, it's uphill.
Just go with the field. We got a game to play here. Come on.
Yeah.
And so I will say they tried that a couple of years ago. Like, if it takes more than 2 minutes, uphold it. I don't like that because, let's put it like this: if Georgia was in that position, this was a national championship game. I don't care if they keep coming up with camera angles and trying to make sure that they make the absolute right call for a consequential game and a consequential moment. If it takes 10 minutes, it takes 10 minutes. Like, that's just part of it. That is how the rules are set up.
Yeah. Still should be indisputable, though.
It's got to be indisputable because if you continue to undermine the referees on the field, we are going to get worse and worse referees on the field.
And it's bad enough.
It's bad enough.
Yeah.
Florida fans, I get it. I sympathize with you. I watched Tyler Simmons get called offsides for Georgia to lose a national championship game on a non-reviewable play where in the slow-mo he was very clearly not offsides. I get it. I understand. But at the same time, y'all aren't doing anything this year. Yeah. That was a close call where it was called incomplete on the field. There was nothing to overturn it. And by one angle, it looks like the ball was sideways and sat on his arms. The other angle shows that it hit the ground. Indisputable is not capable when two different camera angles show two different things. It is just a fact of the way the rules are written. Sucks to suck. It's over.
Yeah. When the Jackson Arnold fumble happened, I came on here and I said the way that you prevent that from being in the referee's hand is hang on to the football. In this case, the way that you prevent that from being in the referee's hand is the receiver notices the throw happening earlier, and if he does, it's a touchdown, and we don't even talk about this.
Or the offensive line not allow DJ Lagway to get chased around to where you can't get enough arm on the ball.
Yeah, against this pass rush, it's done nothing all year.
Yeah, like I trust me, I've said it. I will continue to say it. I get it. If this was a Georgia play, I would be pissed. But also, Georgia gave y'all every opportunity to get a lead and maintain a lead and do whatever you wanted in that game with their inability to stop the pass for a decent portion of it. Like, at some point, you have to blame yourself and your team for not taking advantage of opportunities. You do. Like, it is just a fact of football. Don't leave it up to the referees because it's a 50-50. Referees, in my opinion, are very similar to trying to plug in a USB drive. 50-50 shot, and they're wrong 100% of the time because everyone's going to be mad at every call. It's just a fact of it.
Yep.
So quit leaving it in their hands.
Yeah. The teams that win the most are always going to be the teams that get hit with the refs are on their side the most often. So, again, leave no doubt, and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, I did find the spread for Georgia and Texas game, as of right now, it's This is from Fox Sports. It's a 6.5 point spread favoring Georgia over Texas right now.
That
You know
hook
what?
makes that very interesting.
Yeah.
6.5 is I don't as of right now I don't hate it. I want to see like
Where does it go?
games against common opponents. Georgia beat Florida. Texas lost to Florida. We will see Georgia play Mississippi State this weekend. Both of those games will have been in Starkville. So that is a pretty fair comparison. So we'll see.
Yeah. I will say the Kentucky game is a very good comparison for Georgia. Very flattering.
Forgot about that.
Yep. I did forget that Kentucky exists, just like most of their
Everyone
fans forgot their football program does by
now. But Hugh Freeze sure hasn't.
Yeah, right.
I do have one request of the audience. If y'all are listening and y'all have you just like to keep up to date on the entire SEC, you have a Texas page or a Texas anybody that you pay attention to, send their information to us because we are looking for somebody to talk to about that Texas game coming up.
Because we're not doing the guy from last year. Absolutely not.
Yeah. So I don't even remember who this was, but just it seemed like he leaned into the Texas fans or a certain personality type too much, and we didn't have enjoyable banter. And we talked about it in the off season. If we don't enjoy a conversation with somebody, we're not going to have it again. So we are looking for somebody to talk to about Texas. Y'all ready to get into some awards?
Let's do it.
All right, so I'll take the last one, and I'll take the last two. Y'all can split the first two.
All right, I'll go offense. All right, so our offensive player of the week, Zachariah Branch, 10 receptions for 112 yards. Dude's clutch, man. I'm so glad to have him.
Yeah, that the one what was it, like a 22-yard reception that was a pretty deciding factor at some point in that game. And they're adding wrinkles to different guys on this team every week. And if you're a Mike Bobo hater, I got bad news, y'all. Because it was
in his bag again.
Oh, Mike Bobo only throws screens to Branch. Wait, what? 10 for 112? What? What are you talking about?
I don't think there were 10 screen passes in that game.
When you got a guy like him, screen pass is usually a good call.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's my thing. When they've been thrown to him, how many times have those resulted in first downs this season? Quite a bit.
Yeah. They've resulted in a number of touchdowns this season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, while we're on the subject of Mike Bobo, targeting the tight ends more. A couple of drops in this game. It's just one of those things. You wear a G on the side of your helmet, you're gonna drop passes. At some point we have to figure it out. But getting Noah
I will
Thomas
say
involved,
I don't entirely blame the tight ends for the drops that they had in this one. Some of those were coming in a little hot and a little awkward.
Yeah.
But
I did really like the involvement of Noah Thomas in this one. I know that him and Colby kind of fit the same role in the offense. Colby being out kind of influenced Noah getting some more playing time, but he showed the box out wide receiver that Georgia loves to throw back shoulders to in the red zone. And getting Noah more involved every week I think is going to be huge for this offense moving forward.
Yeah.
All right, defense. The guy is CJ Allen again. What do you want me to do? He's everywhere, all over the field on this defense. 13 tackles, 7 solo tackles. He's the guy getting into the backfield consistently, making plays consistently, finding those intermediate routes consistently. Like, what do you want? CJ Allen is the anchor of this defense every single week, and he continues to show everybody who's done nothing but talk smack about him since his freshman year that this kid is getting all the hype for a reason.
He's earned that number 3.
Serious question here. When he gets drafted by probably the Eagles in the first round this year, who is linebacker 1 next season? Because I'm assuming Raylan's also probably gone.
Chris Cole. Well, I don't know.
Okay.
Justin Williams is,
Yeah, I
is
would say
also
Justin.
good.
Yeah, Justin.
Okay. All right. All right.
How
Yeah.
do we continue to get two great linebackers in the same class?
Yeah.
Well, Justin Williams is a true freshman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Chris Cole's a sophomore, so not necessarily the same
No, it's okay.
class.
Not same class. I keep
Yeah.
thinking they came in together, but I just
Well,
keep
no,
putting them together in my head.
Justin's a
Is he
sophomore,
a
ain't?
red shirt?
Yeah, because he played in that Clemson game.
Boy, I
I'm
forgot.
I'm fact check time. Let me see what we
Yeah.
got here. Justin Williams is in fact a sophomore, so
All
they
right,
did
we're
come in the
done.
same.
We are done.
We
Yeah, well,
Yep. No, I am done. That's just part of it. All right.
I mean,
Well,
we are. The statement was accurate, even if it didn't apply here. We all are.
there's only man when we do our best to cover intelligently 16 SEC teams and all work full-time jobs. Names get lost. They just do.
Yeah.
Names are the first thing to go.
So
I
we're not
can
the
tell
ones who
you-
sit there finding stars that journalists give these kids in high school. So we don't necessarily follow all of that.
And
Yeah.
honestly, after the portal came, we quit covering recruiting near as hard because
Mhm.
yeah.
half of these kids aren't gonna ever play significant snaps for Georgia with the way that it works now. So it just is what it is. Justin Williams is a hell of a player, but I just forgot that he played at all last season and was on the team.
I mean, to be fair, he really didn't play all that much anyway.
Yeah.
Makes
So.
me feel significantly better. All right, Lumberjack Award. And man, I don't. It kind of goes into the vein of what we talked about a few other times. But it's Gunnar Stockton.
Yeah.
Wait,
The Gunnar Stockton Lumberjack Award.
20 of 29, 223 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception that really wasn't his fault. Hit the wide receiver in the hands, tipped, got picked off. Is what it is. But the biggest brain move of the year for, I would say, any player on the team, with not what he did in the Auburn game, but taking a knee at the 1, allowing his line and Cash Jones to get into a fight for the last 2 plays. Just, what do you want? The guy learned. He got yelled at for getting the touchdown against Auburn. Kirby ripped him a few new ones. And he learned in this game.
No, he definitely did it because he bet Florida plus 7.5 and didn't want to lose his bet. That's what I keep getting told by people on the internet.
And he wanted to make kneeling his
he
thing.
He bets on the Gunderdogs instead of Moneyline the Fear.
There we go.
All right, so getting into the last award of the night, it is
Mr. Walker went 16 yards. He drove right over Orange Church, just driving and running with those big thighs. My God, a freshman.
Player of the game, and that is the man on the right side of that offensive line, Juan Gaston. And I know he is the true freshman offensive lineman that's been talked about more than any other true freshman offensive lineman for the University of Georgia since probably Andrew Thomas.
Yeah.
But you can tell that he was actually healthy in this game because he was nasty in the absolute best way. We talked about it earlier. It was a Zachariah Branch catch over the middle, which if you ask Aaron Murray, Georgia doesn't do those because Gunnar can't play football. But when it did actually happen, you can just see, like, there's a camera angle from the end zone Georgia's playing towards that you just see Juan Gaston toss a Florida defensive lineman into the Florida defensive lineman that Drew Bobo is blocking, and they both fall down. He's a healthy Juan Gaston shows you how he competed and made his way over all the other 4 and 5 star guards that Georgia has on the roster, and just jawing with Florida players all night long. But he would always do it backing up, so it was never something that could get close to a penalty. And then at the end of the game, when Micah Morris got dragged to the ground by a Florida player after that last kneel. It was Juan Gaston and Cash Jones that were trying to throw hands, and I love every moment of that. Just because obviously
I'm gonna be honest, that makes me want to see a buddy comedy between those two where they're like cops.
Hold on, how tall is Cash Jones listed at? Because we know it's a couple inches short.
Yeah, hang on. Oh,
I bet he's listed like 5'10".
he's listed at 6 foot.
Boy.
6 foot nothing. I
All
don't know
right.
about all that. He's probably 5'9", 5'10".
On the University of Georgia page, he's 5'11". So
Okay.
it's probably a little shorter than that.
Juan Gaston is 6'7" officially listed.
6'7".
All right, Mike, you're fired.
I'm going
I
to
need
murder
you.
They got my 2-year-old daughter doing the 6'7" thing too with the hands and all that.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's
Life sucks.
But yeah, can we actually get a buddy cop movie of Cash Jones and Juan Gaston? But like a buddy cop movie in the middle of nowhere where they're actually getting into bar fights and Juan is just tossing somebody over a pool table and as Cash is laying him out. Like I need it. I do. But yeah, no, and it go so the Juan Gaston thing, he's played great all season when he's healthy. But it really goes back to something that Kirby said in the offseason, starting media days, is where it kind of came out of the woodwork. But fire, passion, energy. And true freshman Juan Gaston, a giant among giants, is brought that out and proven why he is the starting right guard. And I'm here for every moment of it.
And like you said, this is the first time he's been healthy since what, the Austin P game?
Yeah, I think so. That's when he went down the first time.
Yeah. So truly healthy and getting more practice, more game time reps, and more film study on himself against some of these other like true SEC defensive linemen, I'm sure is why he continues to get exponentially better every week. And so excited that Georgia has him for at least 2 more years. Dude's a baller.
I wouldn't say at least. It's going to be 2 more years. Get ready for that.
Yeah, that's fair. At least 2, more than likely just 2.
But we can dream.
We can. Hope is not a plan, and you can't quantify hope. I said that quite a bit this offseason in regard to most of the SEC teams that are currently fighting for bowl eligibility. But
yeah, wow, we were right about something. Imagine that.
All right, y'all. Check us out on YouTube Sundays at 8. We are live. But Instagram, where you can find out if we're going to be live, is at nothing.finder.pod. Twitter is at finderpod. Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all of the above. Just look us up and you can find us there. No one reminded me about shirts, so I had my wife set a calendar reminder for this week, and I'm pretty sure every day this week, so we can actually get the shirts posted. But it's going to be fun, man. Mississippi State next week. I think that if ESPN could choose that game time now instead of choosing it in July or early August, I don't think Georgia at Mississippi State would be a noon game at this point. But
yeah,
it is what it is. We're still waiting on the time for the Texas game, so it's going to be a good one getting down to the end of the season. But always remember, y'all, there is nothing finer in the land
than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan.